Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, grand rising, hola, whatever applies. Tracy with Sweet Spot E-Magazine here. Thank you to the subscribers. Thank you to the comments. Thank you for the views, for the shares, for the likes. Thank you for everything and everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm just going to jump right in. This morning when I was waking up, I clearly saw the Shaolin monk. And he had like an orange, but it was covered on this side, draped, and it was underneath the arm on this side. And in the hand of the arm that was out, he was holding a pretty large knife. And I said, what does this mean? God said, be open to communication, but don't drink their poison. Listen to what someone has to say if you want to, if it so warrants a conversation, because sometimes what's already understood don't have to be explained, re-explained, or re-explained. It's okay to hear what someone has to say, but let it stop right here. Let it not even go in your ear, because you still have that sword, that dagger of truth, and you remember the truth no matter what their lying mouth may say. It's that truth, that dagger, that sword that you got in your hand. That's what cuts. And that's what sets you free. The truth shall set you free. Let's clear the air. All right. Bottom of the deck. Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. Don't forget. Remember everything. Don't just choose to remember the good. Choose to remember the uncomfortable. Choose to remember the down parts. Choose to remember the parts that hurt. Sky Father. Trust in the universe. Trust in the unknown. Trust in God. Trust in something that you cannot see that's here for you. Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. You already know the way. And you're the only one that knows the way. So you have to follow the voice of your own soul. You have to trust that you are walking with your ancestors. You have to ask God to show you the way. You have to be open to seeing the way. Spring. See your seeds grow. Because as you follow your own soul, as you follow what your own intuition is telling you to do, as you follow what God is telling you, that comes through whispers, the steps to take, you see your seeds continue to grow. High Priest, intend and create. Intend the steps that you plan to take to reach your goal. And your goal is not so I can own my own company. Your goal is not so I can buy a new car. Your goal is not so I can buy a new house. No, your goal is in here. That's the goal that you have to intend to create and to reach. Those are the steps that you're going to have to intentionally take. And it's still all within here. From the Sky Father to the Star Ancestor to the High Priest, it's still all within here. We have Fire Guardian because it's time to ignite your own passion. Validation is not outside. Validation is purely inside. That's it. You need to feel good about what you do, what you create, the steps you take, the decisions you make. That's it. You have to ignite that passion within you. You have to make sure that every step that you take, every move that you make, is not something that ends up being fake. Drum. Dream and journey. Once again, this is so internal. This is you following the beat of your own drum. This is you on your own journey because it starts with you and it ends with you. There was only room for one as you came out of the womb. And Spirit says, and when it's time for you to come back to me, there will only be room for one. So everything is in here. It's not out there. At the bottom, we have Traveler. Moving in a new direction. Moving in the direction that suits you. Moving in your direction because that's what you're led to do. Not because someone said this is the way you need to go. This is where you need to end up. This is where you need to be. This is where you need to think. This is how you need to think. This is what you need to do. No. You're moving in a new direction. A direction that's suited solely for you. Let me go ahead and close these blinds a little bit because the sun is starting to shine through. Bottom of the deck. Queen of Cups. This is still talking about you. This is talking about you following the beat of your own drum. You going the way that you need to go because you're connected with spirit now. You're connected with source. This is you having the emotional capacity to be like that Shaolin monk. To be open to communication, but you have your sword so that you do not drink their poison. Show me what I need to see, Spirit. Show me what I need to see. The Lovers. This is you. Loving every part of you. Accepting every part of you. Being happy with every part of you. Even the parts that we don't really particularly care for about ourselves, because it's still a works in progress. But understanding that truly what you need to work on, what you need to focus on, what you need to do and who you need to be is so focused and centered on who you are. It's not even about who someone else is. It's about who you are, who you hold yourself accountable to be. And peacefully leaving what does not work. Peacefully leaving could even be warring family. Maybe somebody or something lies, sneaky, deception. Could be a job. Once again, could be a family. This could be you finally understanding that there was a lot of things that were going on that was happening right beneath your nose that you didn't really see, you really didn't understand, or maybe you really didn't want to see or understand or pay attention to. But this is you now following your own voice. This is you now following your own guides. This is you like having a brand new start after finding out the very, very, very worst part. It's like picking yourself up. This is that phoenix rising because the worst is over right here. The worst is over. And once you accepted that the worst was over, you were able to pick yourself up. Concentrate on yourself. Provide yourself with the love that you felt that you needed, that you felt that was lacking, that you felt like you never had. But it was there all along. It was just on the inside. It was there all along. It was just on the inside. It was like you just had to realize that. You had to see. You had to open up your eyes. You had to find that spot in the matrix for you to slip through. And once you did, it was like you were able to leave feeling trapped, leave feeling stuck, feeling depressed, feeling confused, leaving these games that had you making these stupid ass decisions. You were able to leave that. Spirit gave you the strength to move forward. Spirit gave you the strength to overcome. Spirit gave you the strength to stop feeling sorry for yourself and understand that you are not a victim. Knight of Pentacles. It's like you had to understand that for a long time, you felt like you were the victim. You felt like you were the one who deserved the pity. You were the one who deserved the attention. You was the one who deserved to have all of this extra. And it was like something had to stop. It's like when you went through this, when you finally went through this, by the same people that you helped someone else go through it with, that's when you learn the lesson of what love truly is. And how maybe certain ways that you were aggressive for a long time held someone else in despair. It's like this was working with others. But now it's something has changed. Something has changed within you. It's like now you are definitely keeping things to yourself. You have definitely gone within. Because now you see that it's up to you. It's your responsibility to make some changes. Now you see that, guess what, buddy? Guess what, sweetheart? Don't nobody owe you nothing. Nobody has to love you. Nobody. And that's justice. But you have to love yourself. That's the only person that has to love you. You. And so you started to see that as you love you, now you can see that a part of what you don't need to be. Because then you look back on times that you were possibly doing something with the community, hurting someone else, bringing someone else despair, bringing someone else pain, trying to make someone else feel shame. that it was not your place. Because you had your own pain, you had your own despair, and you had your own shame that you had to deal with. So saith Spirit. So Spirit said, hey, I think it's time for you to stop looking at somebody else. My dear. And I think it's time for you to start looking at you. Start working on your love. Start working on your independence. Start working on who do you want to be. Because what you want in someone else is what you have to bring to the table. You can't come lacking and thinking that they're going to come packing. It don't work out like that. So you have to work on you. You have to figure you out. You have to let certain people, certain places, certain things, certain ideas, certain mindsets, certain habits, certain whatever that is holding you back, dragging you down, making you heavy, acting like a clown, let it go. Let it just turn around. Just say no. Learn the lesson. Because out of all of this, graduation only comes with one choice. One direction. So choose wisely. Choose as if your spirit depends on it. Choose as if your soul depends on it. Spirit says, remember who you are. Whether you're male, whether you're female, remember this. And you are no one's fool, but you are able to go in a new direction as long as you are following where you truly need to be going, traveling in that new direction. It's like, well, that's where the growth is. So if things feel stagnant, if things just aren't working, it's because you are meant to travel in a new direction. Queen of Pentacles. Honoring self. Knowing how worthy you are. How successful you are. How respectful you are. And how much integrity you have. You really honor yourself. And you're not afraid to show it. Because you're going to be following the beat of your own drum. Not afraid to show it. People are going to try and knock you off your path. New levels, new devils. New levels, new devils. New levels, new devils. But it's not going to work. Because you've already done the hard work. You just have to stay true to your path. Stay true to yourself. Honor yourself. Love yourself. And say goodbye to everything else. It's okay to turn your back on what doesn't work. It's okay to say goodbye. It's okay to close that door behind you. And it's even okay for you to cry. But what is not okay is for you to walk around like this. Walk around with all these burdens that aren't even yours because someone else didn't know how to handle their own shit. So they trying to put it on you, trying to make you feel like you owe them something. When they ain't really been there for you to add to the pot of who you ended up becoming. These are just tricks. These are just lies. These are just mind games. These are just something to make you feel guilty for standing up for yourself and for telling them no and for taking your space as you should be. Your distance, your absence, you no longer being in their life is not your responsibility, because now they experience tower after tower after tower because of their own stress and strife. It's not your obligation to save anybody from what they've built. It's only your obligation to make sure that you stay in the clear so that you don't get hit with any of their filth. Work on yourself. Work on your worthiness. Work on who you are. Work on communicating better. Work on looking at things at a higher perspective. Work on trying to always reach your star. Don't be afraid of the truth. Let the truth be your friend. Let the truth set you free. Because it's always within the truth that you always build. You always prosper, and you always turn out who you truly, really want to be. There's going to come a time, there's going to come a day that the devil's going to come back your way. It's going to make you an offer that sounds so sweet. But you're going to look at that and something is going to look really, really familiar. And you're going to turn it down and you're going to say, thank you, but that is not for me. And it's like you're going to have to withstand a lot. You're going to have to be strong at heart because there's going to be a lot of negative energy. There's going to be a lot of poisonous darts thrown your way. But you're just going to have to stand strong in who you are and understand who you are. And you're walking to the beat of your own drum. And you don't care what they throw. One thing you're not going to do is you're not going to sway. What else, Spirit? Bottom of the deck, we got the Empress. It's like a newness, a new start, birthing. And someone could find out that they're pregnant, and maybe this is what they're doing is they are clearing the way so that whenever they welcome their new baby in, their baby is not going to be brought into a life of chaos because they're following their own way. They're following what's healthy for them. They're leaving whatever is chaotic, whatever's unhealthy, so that they can welcome their new child in. They don't want their child to even have to go through anything like they had to go through. What else? This person is leaving. Whether they're having a baby or not, somebody is leaving. Elvis is already checked out of the building. They've already checked out of the building. They do. Whenever that last heartache came through, that last heartbreak, they said, this is it. I am completely through. No more. No more. They was like, dear God, please. Please deliver me from this. Please. Help me to turn my back on whatever I don't need. Please help deliver me from this. I need your healing. It's like they decided it was their intention to create. It was their intention to go into a new start, into a new direction. It was their intention to reignite that passion that they felt that they missed, that they felt was taken. Five of Wands, the Chariot, Page of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. Them saying, you know what, I have to leave this behind. Asking God, please deliver me from this. And it could be 5 people that they had to actively leave, openly leave, to go into a brand new direction, to start over, and maybe even keep it to themselves and not let anyone know where they're even at, where they're located, to be just completely to themselves. They didn't want no one to know. But it was something that made them have to go. It was time. It was past time. Talk about the morning after. It was the morning past, the morning past, the morning after. We have the Fool, the Six of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. But they came in reverse. So it was like understanding that they had, it was like when they felt like they had been used. They felt like they had been abused. They felt like they had been totally taken for granted. And like they couldn't even see what was happening when it was happening. It was because they wanted to look at it like this, not understanding that it was really like this. The Eight of Wands from a different deck just fell on the floor. some communication that came in that knocked them probably on the floor. Maybe something about their money. Something about some type of action that they took against an empress. It was something about some action that they took against an empress that they didn't see. That was a foolish thing for them. That's whenever they realized how they had been used. That's whenever they realized how much chaos they put into a situation. That's when they decided that they had to call out to God and they had to change their own direction. They looked at themselves. They checked themselves out. They had to check themselves. And what they saw when they did was they weren't where they thought that they were. They weren't where they wanted to be. And they definitely wasn't where they needed to be. So they knew they needed to make some different decisions. Some things needed to get diced. Some things needed to get sliced. But whatever it was, they understood that it was their energy that could make or break. It was their own healing. It was everything within them that helps or causes them to feel how they feel. It's their actions. You're only putting out certain actions to certain people because you feel like you're lacking in that. But when you show love, it's because you feel love. When you express love, it's because you feel love. And whenever you give love, it's because you feel love. And they saw that they had to work on their own healing. Such a personal story. Because it starts with us. It ends with us. And the whole dash between is all about us. Doesn't even matter about anyone else. Children, parents, friends, neighbors, relatives, it's all still about what we do, who we say we are, and that relationship that we have with God. He wants to know, are we on board? Because if we're on board, He's got us, just like we have Him. And that is the truth, because here is the Ace of Swords sticking out. Are we on board? Let's get this last deck and then I'm going to close this up. I'm so glad it's Friday, y'all. Bottom of the deck, we have Page of Swords. So yeah, somebody's doing their homework. Somebody's looking, they're checking out, they're investigating, they're getting serious. They're not just taking everything that someone says at face value. They're doing their own homework. They're applying what they feel works for them. And what works for them is what they're worrying about. They're not worrying about what somebody else is worrying about. They don't even give a shit anymore. Because they saw how that person didn't really give a shit about them. They're really worrying about what they need to do for their own salvation, because they understand when it's their day, when it's their time, when it's that last final hour, that last minute, that last second. And when you get up there, you don't want to have to talk about, well, I didn't really know if you was true, so I was playing these little tricks and shit like that. You know, people was telling me this and people was telling me that. You don't want to get up there for all that. You want to get up there. They look your name up. They're like, oh yeah, come on in. We've been expecting you. Was traffic okay? Did you make your connection all right? The angels that assisted you, they was nice enough. We have the Page of Coins. We have the Strength, the Nine of Swords, and the Tower that all came in upside down. So it was like someone who was acting really immature. They were just acting like it was just all about money. They were shallow. They were really, really shallow. They didn't want to take responsibility for anything. You know? They had no strength. They followed the crowd. You know, and it was like they felt like they didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to worry about anything. They had no heart, no soul. They felt like there was nothing that was ever going to be able to touch them. They felt like they was going to be able to get away from tower after tower after tower. Like nothing, like karma would not come around for them. And then we had the Two of Pentacles. And something happened. It was like when someone did this action, what made them finally wake up? Because then we had the Wheel of Fortune that came in reverse. It was like all of a sudden they started losing. All of a sudden, everything started dying with the Death card. They thought that they were this, they thought that they were that, but no. People started leaving. Contracts started losing stuff. Opportunities started saying goodbye. You know? Relationships that they thought were starting were ending. Because they couldn't see that there was that black cloud over them. It was something that they had caused. Which is what caused them to wake the hell up. Ace of Pentacles. Here we are. They're looking, they're studying. They're trying to figure out, what is that key? What is it that I need? What is it that I can do? What is it that I have? What is it that I can offer? What is it? So that this person can start anew. They're understanding that it has nothing to do with the outside, that it's all within. Now it's like they're ready to have conversations. Now they're ready to unburden themselves. What else, Spirit? Okay, I asked. So something is getting ready to come in really quickly with this Knight of Wands. It's coming out the blue, and I'm going to ready to look on the floor and tell you. Ooh, so we got the lover. Wait, no, is that the two of? Oh, so this is the Two of Cups in the upright. Two of Cups landed in the upright. Something passionate happened. We have the Temperance in reverse. And then we have these two. Oh, okay. The Ten of Swords and the Knight of Cups in reverse. So someone is getting ready to make a move, a quick move. They're getting ready to try and come in because they want to be healed. They want to have a conversation. They want to be able to unleash. They want to be able to see. First, they want to see if they can get you back. That's what it is. But this person isn't finished healing. This person hasn't dealt with their dark night of the soul. This person, they still have some more that they have to work on. Queen of Wands. Could be a fire sign. Could have to do with the fire sign. But whatever it is, this is going to be justice. This is going to be justice. After somebody had options. Someone had several options or made you feel like you were an option, but now they see that you were the one. They see that you were the one. But somebody, they had to go within. They had to find themselves. Because it was like they saw that this was a no-win situation. And it's like they had received judgment. And it was like, not just judgment, but it was like once they received karma, once karma came down, they immediately thought of somebody. The person. Someone that they had left, someone that they had abandoned, someone that they had broke their heart, cast them out. Somebody that spoke the truth, but they didn't want to hear it. Somebody that said, no, this is what's really going on, but they didn't want to hear it. I just heard my phone, and that's confirmation. But now this person is ready. This person is ready to compromise now. This person is ready to give and to receive because this person sees that you have something that can help them. That can help them to work through a lot of ambiguity, a lot of what's not clear. So that they can complete cycles. So that they can reach that status where they feel worthy. So that they can feel like they have worked the shit out. Let the shit go. And that they are now feeling as positive as they can. ready to follow the beat of their own drum and not afraid to say whatever it is because they know now that they are as one with spirit, following their own intuition, following their own guide, basing their decisions on what God wants them to do and not their own ego or pride. Like that Shaolin monk, we have to be open to communication, but we cannot drink their poison. Because when we drink their poison, when we allow them to sway our way of thinking, that's what gets us off. Follow the beat of your own drum. Make your own decisions. Ask God to lead, guide, and direct you. Until we meet again, I love you all.